Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Aderonke Olubanjo, the principal instructor of the leading fashion college in Oyo State, Ibadan City Fashion College. And today we're talking about the common mistakes that kill startups and businesses. I'm the Nigerian fashionpreneur who talks about fashion business and also about how to start or grow your other businesses as long as it applies to you, that you're a startup or an existing business owner. Today, yes, we're talking about the common mistakes, about 7 of them that kill startups and fashion business, but not just in the fashion business, and other businesses that you do or that you're into. Now, let's ask ourselves this question. First of all, who is a startup? To the best of my knowledge, startups are newbies in business and the babies in business, just starting a new business, launching into the water of the business, learning how to swim, you're a startup. Or you're an existing business owner and you're trying to bring a new idea into your business. Of course, we'll somehow categorize you as a startup in that area alone, not in the other general areas. Lots of startups don't make it to the teething stage. What we call teething stage, like when you have a baby and they are growing and they start teething, or they don't make it past the teething stage. Let me put it that way. The teething stage happens, things start happening, you start realizing the things that you're growing in business, and some problems come, the crawling stage, the walking stage, and so many startup businesses fail. In fact, there are data, there are numbers. The percentage of startups that fail and don't make it to the growth stage, there are a lot, not just in Nigeria, but all over the world. Why? What causes this? What could have caused this? What can they do? What can be done to amend this? Or what can you do to not fall into this category? Or what can you do to make your business better? Let's look at this today as we go on. But the common reasons, what we have, I told you earlier, we have about 7 of them. But the common reasons, the first one we have is, if you're a startup, I want you to pay good attention to these points because it will definitely help you. And if you're not really a startup, if you're just starting your business or you're started, this, of course, the points are definitely going to help. You've been through this path before, and so let's talk about it. It's time to find your feedback. Number 1 is too many ideas causes distraction. I put the word distraction into 2. I divide it into 2. Dis and traction. Traction is movement. Things are moving smoothly. Everything is going smoothly. Distraction is when this is not working well. Now, when you have too many ideas bouncing in your head, which happens to a lot of startups, so many things are coming up in your head, so many ideas are coming up, you want to do this, you want to try this, you want to give this a push. Too many ideas causes distraction. Let that definition not leave your head. Distraction. You don't move in the right way. Just keep on dilly-dallying, moving around in different areas because you're having too many things to deal with in your head. When too many ideas fight for attention, all the ideas are likely to suffer. Because you want to do this, next you want to start a fashion line, next you want to do a ready-to-wear, then you want to do bespoke, then you want to do teaching, then you want to do all that. These things are all fighting for attention. At the end of the day, one will start suffering. One or even all or many will start suffering. Having ideas is a wonderful thing, definitely, but don't shuffle all your balls at once. If you can't throw the balls, if you're not ready, if you haven't learned the skills of juggling balls, don't do it yet. Try to get through one a step at a time. Nurture one after the other. Don't just jump. Don't just say, oh, I'll do this one, I'll be a baker, I'll be a caterer, I'll be all this. No one, perfect it, master it. After that, you're free to move on to other ideas or other things you want to do in your business. That is our number 1 point. Number 2, the number 2 thing that kills many startup businesses is having plan 0. Let me read this the way I wrote it down. You just assume the line will fall in pleasant places. If you go to church, you understand all this. I mean, you just wake up and say, oh, the lines will fall in pleasant places for me. Everything will work fine. And positive affirmation. Yeah, we believe in affirmation. I'm a woman of faith. I believe in affirmation. But you need to have a business plan, simple or detailed, to guide your process. You know, the business plan doesn't have to be something too complicated sometimes. If you're starting, just have a place where you plan it your own way, the way you can understand, the way you can handle it, the way you can handle it well, the way you know that if I follow this step 1, 2, 3, I'm likely to achieve this. Of course, business is unpredictable, that I know, but you can still put you definitely have to put some plans in 0. Not just jump into the road and start driving to nowhere. I don't know who starts a car and start driving and say, I'm going to no destination. That is what happens when you start your business without a plan. You must have a plan. It is so, so important. Have a plan for what you're doing. Have a plan for where you're going. Have a plan for maybe monthly plans if you're starting. This will guide you. This will make you trust check and check yourself all the time. Am I achieving this? Am I doing this well? Have plans. Set your plans in motion. Don't just jump in and start. It is important. The number 3 things is lack of due diligence. I know you've heard about due diligence reports when you're doing some things. Before you dive, check and test. Test the waters. You know, there was one of my talks where I mentioned put your leg into the water. Yoruba adage, you say you don't put your leg in the water and start shouting it's cold. Check and test. Are you fit for this thing? Do you think you can do it? You know, it's like if you've been driving a car and you're given a tractor one day to drive, you can't just use the same skill that you've been using to drive a car, to drive a tractor. You need some little bit of experience. You need to practice and be sure that you can handle it before you commit atrocities. Now, dive and check the business, do your due diligence, research, ask questions. Is this thing what I can handle? Can I get my materials here? Can I get my resources here? If my machine gets faulty, there are some instances in your fashion business that buying a single machine can ruin everything because that machine has no repair. And that's what happens. You buy the machine, you've invested a lot of money in that particular machine. The next thing you're saying is the machine develops a fault and no one around you can repair it. That's a big loss because eventually you have to put the machine down. You can't use it again. So that's part of why I say due diligence, do your due diligence. I've seen stand-up business owners who start their business and they put a lot of money on things they don't even need yet, things they will need later. But that's like tying the capital down. Do your diligence. You will learn in the process, but know what it entails, not just to start, but what it entails to succeed. Starting can be, I want to start this thing today. They will say, Yorubas, my people will say, "Enu share." You don't do it by mouth. You don't just talk and say, "Oh, I want to start this today." Learn, understand everything it takes. Research, ask, learn, intend if you can, if it's possible. Intend with someone, read and do everything necessary to give you your due diligence. That's yes, I have done my part. If things now happen, all these things, some unexpected things will happen in business, but the due diligence you've done will always help you to scale through all these rivers. And the number 4 is avoiding being a risky taker. One of the things that can kill startup businesses. Life itself is one big risk. Let's be realistic with ourselves. Leaving your house and saying you'll come back is nothing is sure, but you just know that by faith you'll come back. So life itself is a big risk. If you can't be a risk taker, you can't be in the business world. You must know how to take calculated risks. Don't just risk everything. Don't just say, "Oh, I'm risky." No, everything, things can happen, things can go wrong, things can go awry. In business, you always have reasons to take them. But what we tell you is do your risk assessment and weigh the weights. If you're risking, if you're putting this money into this business, weigh it well. If I lose, what happens? If I gain, what happens? If the risk is too high for you to bear, please leave it for now. You can do it some other time. Don't compare yourself to those who have been in business for years and they are used to just doing a 50-50. You can't start a 50-50 with the startup business. It will affect you a lot of times. You need to be very, very sure. Don't do things out of, I know it will work. If it doesn't work, you'll be discouraged. And all these things are just piling up in you to make you weak and weary in the heart. So that's the number 4 thing. Number 5 is that kills startup businesses is not knowing when to say yes and when to say no. In fact, that one is a big one. Your clients will come to you. You don't have to say yes to everybody. You can't be a yes man or a yes woman. You don't have to say yes to people all the time. You don't have to say, yes, I will do it, or yes, I will do it. I'll do it, or a no person. Know when to say yes and know when to say no. There are times that I want the money and the job comes, but I'm telling, I'm sorry, I can't handle this job because I don't want to spoil my image and my reputation. Because if I take that job at that time, there are likelihood that probably I may not be able to finish it, or I've seen that this thing is not what I want, or the customer is not the kind of person I want to deal with. Maybe they are looking like trouble in 2 legs already. Learn how to say no. Learn how to say yes. Know the times. Know the times to agree to something and the time to disagree. Don't just jump at every opportunity. I was telling my students one time that there was a time I had a client who was someone being decided and was telling me that, "Oh, let me put 10 million into your business and you'll be giving me ROI." I said, "Oga, not now. Not when I was starting. You put 10 million in, you sit down in your office, chopping AC, I do all the work, I come and give you your ROI monthly, and at the end, and this is business. Sometimes nothing happens, sometimes many things happen, and sometimes it's just trickles. So don't just jump at, oh, that person wants to invest a lot of money into my business and jump for it. There's a loan somewhere, let me go for it. Don't. Be careful. These things will kill your business. And when these things start killing your ideas, start killing your plans, of course you start getting discouraged, and it affects you. Not just the business, it affects you generally. It affects you. You can't be an all yes person, remember, to clients, your customers, to workers. Workers. Don't say yes to them all the time. Know when to say no. Know when to disagree. Know when to tell them this has to stop. Put your feet on the ground. More reason why I always tell you, if you're dealing with staff, workers that has to do with skill, know the skill a bit. If you know the skill a bit, it's going to help you. Because if you don't know the skill, they will have a lot of things to say, a lot of reasons to say this cannot be done. Or a lot of reasons to just be slack on the job, to be slow on the job, to be sluggish on the job, knowing that maybe if I don't do it, a guy will do nothing. God will do a lot. So remember that. The sixth point we're talking about is rolling out coaching and professional help. You can't do it all. You don't know it all. We all can do with some help. There are times you need someone who is ahead of you. There are times you need someone who has gone higher to tell you, to teach you, to put you through and let you know what to do. So you need some professional help. You need some coaching. Get coached, get tutored, get mentored. You know, the advantage of being mentored is sometimes, or getting some coaching, needed coaching. If you have to pay, yes, pay. Don't look for free all the time. The advantage is you are going to learn what that person has learned in years, in few hours or few weeks or few days or few months. They're going to share the experiences with you. So if you have to pay for it, be ready to pay, be willing to pay. Don't just say, oh, they should come and teach me for free. These things they are teaching you will cost them probably a lot in the business life. So be ready to pay for some things. The ones that are free, value them, because sometimes when people get free mentoring, what happens is just it's for free. No, it shouldn't be that way. If it's free, value it. Do whatever you think it should be done, and let the person be encouraged to tell you more about their businesses. You don't know it all, you can't know it all. There are people who took the past, they will tell you where to avoid. In this, don't seek help from those who hold back information. There are people that hold back information. I've met people who are successful, but they will tell you, oh, just keep on doing it, you'll get there. If they hold back information, yeah, tap the ones you can tap from them. Tap the ones you can tap while you're watching them. Then always ask for more. Always go to learn more. This will help you. So that 6 points, ruling out coaching or professional help, is one of the things that kills startup businesses. Then the 7 points, which I'm stopping at today, is spending too early. You are a starter. Don't spend like a pro. Don't spend like I know it all. I have it all. I'm going to spend this money that my husband has given me, the money that my uncle has given me, the money that my parents has given, the money that I've made, or this money that I've saved. Let me spend it. Don't spend like a pro. You are a starter. Like the step I mentioned earlier, little by little. Like one of my people will say, little by gradual. Don't just rush it. You're a starter. For every cent counts. Money is business. Business is money. Every cent counts. Impulse spending will show up to make you show off, because you've seen someone doing the business elsewhere, driving the latest car, wearing the latest hair weaves, doing the latest jewelries and all this and that, and you want to also show off. Don't join them to show off here. There's time for show off. The time for show off is coming. Right now is a time to get your seed rooted in the ground, in the floor of business industry first. Not the time to show off or show people that me too I have. Because sometimes people start business and they are launching, and I'm looking at the office like, this is not too much for you to start up with. You have not even you don't have a client list, you don't have so much people, but you understand all that. So be careful. Hold back. Your show off time is coming. The time to show off, the time to tell the world that I too, I sabi, I get money is coming. With these few points, I'm stopping today. To continue the next time we'll see. Look at the points, the ones that apply to you, select them. All may not apply to you, but definitely some will apply to you. Use them for your business, use them for your personal, whatever your business you're doing, fashion, anything. These tips will help. Starting and growing is not difficult if you take the right steps at the right time. I wish you all the best in your business endeavors. Feel free to contact me, email, WhatsApp. My links are there. The contacts are there. If you have questions, feel free to drop your comments. And if you have not subscribed, please kindly subscribe and tell a friend about. If your friend needs this kind of information, please share with them. You might be helping someone. You might be saving someone's business. Till I see you some other time. Stay good and keep soaring.